Okay, welcome back. I'll just share my screen again. Just give me a second, please. Okay. So yes. So we are talking about the planning with respect to safety management. Okay. I request everybody please be in mute. Yeah. So when you talk about planning, as I mentioned, the planning is the utmost primary function. So from there, the activities start. Like as we know, in the ISO management systems, where we follow the plan, do, check, act, PDCA cycle. So where the first thing is planning. So when you talk about planning, whatever you want to do or whatever you want to achieve or whatever things you want to execute. Sometimes the planning we may do for fixing a goal. The planning we may do for a road project. We do a planning for a trip, or we do a planning for any construction of a building. So the planning is a basic term or at most initial function of any activity. So with respect to safety management role, the planning, it talks about majorly, first of all, setting the safety objectives, saying that either zero incident or zero accident, or reduction of 5% of reportable incidents or accidents from 2025 or 2024. Then formally, we formulating the safety policies, safety programming, budgeting, and also determining safe or standard procedures. So when I talk about safety policy, what does mean by policy? Anyone? Policy and A&D.
Sir, it's a commitment from the top management.
Mhm. Krishna Chaitanya, you have not given the attempt for the examinations in the last month?
No, sir. Actually, this year, sir, I had joined the
Okay,
classes before last
okay,
year.
okay. Understood, understood. Okay, good, good. Good to see you. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
सर
Okay, so
पॉलिसी
basically, yes, Amit.
सर पॉलिसी एक रिटर्न फॉर्म है कि कोई भी काम मतलब किस तरफ से हम हमें करना है उसका रिटर्न मतलब अप्रूव जो हायर अथॉरिटीज से उसको पॉलिसी बोलते हैं।
फिर एसओपी का मतलब आई मीन एसओपी से डिफरेंस क्या है? पॉलिसी और एसओपी का डिफरेंस क्या है? एसओपी को ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर, सो उसमें क्या लिखता है?
अच्छा
जो करना है उसमें लिख लेता है, मतलब जो पहले क्या करना है, बाद में क्या करना है और बाद में क्या करना है, मतलब जो सीक्वेंस ऑफ एक्टिविटीज जैसे करना है वैसे हम लोग एसओपी लिखता है। फॉर एग्जांपल, एक अनलोडिंग एक्टिविटी करना है, सो गाड़ी किधर से आएगा, गाड़ी आने के बाद क्या क्या चेक करने का, फिर अनलोडिंग करने से पहले उसको व्हील चॉकर लगाने का, नहीं तो अर्थिंग लगाने का, कोई केमिकल अनलोड कर रहा है तो फ्लेमेबल सब्सटेंसेस, बाद में चेक करना कि एनी लीकेजेस है क्या। ओके, सो जो बंदा करता है उनको मालूम होना चाहिए कि कौन सी होस्ट कनेक्ट करना है, क्योंकि स्टोरेज में मल्टीपल टैंक्स होता है। सो कौन सी टैंक में अनलोड करने का है, उसको आइडेंटिफिकेशन क्या है, तो ये सारा अपन को एसओपी में होता है. मतलब सो बेसिकली यू राइट इन एसओपी to perform an activity. Either it is a mission operation or it is a specific task or execution of any activity. ఏదైనా అవ్వచ్చు. అంటే ఎస్ఓపి అనేది స్టాండర్డ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ ప్రొసీజర్ అనేవి ఏదైనా ఒక యాక్టివిటీని స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్, అంటే ఎవరైనా కొత్త వాళ్ళు వచ్చినా కూడా, సో హీ నీడ్ నాట్ టు గెట్ వరీ. మేబీ హీఈస్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ, but still by reading the SOP, somehow he can able to execute the activity. So that is standard operating procedure. So when we talk about a policy, it is basically a commitment of top management. So saying that the management is committed for whatever the 5-6 sentences they have written in the policy. So that's why the policies are signed by the top management, saying that he is committed, whoever signs on the policy, like CEO or joint managing directors or managing directors or chairmen who signs the policy, they are committed for all those points. So generally in the policies we could see that we provide a safe and healthy workplace to the all the employees, or this policy, or we are responsible for, or we takes care of all our employees, contractors, visitors and customers. That is one of the general point you could see. And next point, they may say that okay, we follow all applicable legal and statutory requirements and standards. When you say applicable, they will not say that okay, we'll follow all the legal requirements or whatever the legal requirements which are there in India. So they say that whichever the legal requirements are applicable to my process, we will try to fulfill, or we will fulfill the requirements. Then they may say that so we will not pollute the atmosphere by our activities or production processes. Simply we try to prevent the pollution from our operations. They may say that we takes care of the waste generation, or we properly dispose. Then they may mention that okay, we continuously improve the people knowledge, or we will I'm not exactly getting the point. They will say that continuous monitoring and improving of the human capital, or regular performance reviews. Like this, they used to mention few set of points with respect to safety, health and environment. In last, they will say that okay, this policy has been communicated to all the employees or stakeholders, etc., etc. Okay. Right. So that is the one thing. First, we do the setup of objectives. Then we formulate a policy. So to what extent we are committing. Then we bring the safety programs. So in the sense, either ISO management systems or training programs, inspection programs, audit programs, or training programs, external or internal. Okay, we bring the near miss reporting or safety suggestions, unsafe action reporting, unsafe condition reporting. Then we ask them to participate in the safety promotional activities, etc., etc. Many things will come in. And also we write standard procedures for the activities. For example, one procedure I say a work permit procedure, where all the non-regular activities has to cover under this work permit system. So for example, whichever the activities which are hazardous or dangerous in nature, or which are the activities which happens very rarely, and also the activities are not covered under the existing management systems. All those activities are supposed to be covered under work permit system. అంటే ఏంటంటే వర్క్ పర్మిట్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది మనకి నాన్ రెగ్యులర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అంటే రెగ్యులర్గా చేసే యాక్టివిటీస్కి సంబంధించదు. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ హౌస్ కీపింగ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో ఎవ్రీడే యూ నీడ్ నాట్ టు టేక్ ఎ పర్మిట్. Quality people will take the samples in the production area, so they need not to take a permit. Production people, they used to operate the machines, so they need not to take a permit, because all those activities are covered under any of the management system. Okay, even though some of the activities are covered under the management system, but which are critical in nature, danger in nature, hazardous in nature, those activities are supposed to be covered under permit system. For that also, recently the government has released a standard. If I'm not wrong, 17062, or you can type in the Google, it is publicly available document. Okay, work permit standard, where you can get it. Next one is organizing. So after the planning, so immediately you will have organizing. It includes establishment of formal structure of authority through which the work subdivisions are defined, arranged, and also coordinated for the planned safety objectives. So here it talks about the organizing formal structure. So once you have defined, okay, we have set up objectives, then you will define the responsibilities of the people and authorities of the people. Then you will take it to a subdivisional level. For example, at the organizational level, the management has taken an objective of 0 accidents. Then it is structurally informed, or it is informed to all the departments. So they will have their internal targets from the each department. I mean, it is a divided into divisions or departmental, because if any department had an incident, it is accounting at management level or at the organizational level. So the departments also will create their respective objectives, saying that 0 incident or 0 near miss. Okay. Then arrange and coordinate for the planned safety objectives. So they will coordinate and they will arrange the things in such a way that whatever the things they required, or support, or infrastructural support, or technical support which required, they will organize and coordinate to meet the overall objective of the organization. Okay. Then staffing, it includes personal function, recruitment and training the staff, and maintaining safe and also favorable conditions of work through personnel. So it is basically the staff which are required, and also maintaining the favorable atmosphere, in the sense providing a safe and a clean workplace to the all the employees. Okay, that is a favorable atmosphere creation. Then talk about the direction. It is basically a continuous task of taking decisions, ordering, instructing, guiding, and advising on all matters of safety. When you talk about directing, it is nothing but giving a guidance. Okay, and some sort of instructions, like where a safety officer will give the instructions while he go for a walkthrough, or sometimes he will order to stop the activity, or sometimes he will take a decision to terminate the activities, or sometimes he will order the people to execute the activity as agreed, safety conditions, etc. It is basically giving the advising or directing or controlling the activities with respect to safety matters. Then controlling, so basically it includes performing, evaluating, and correcting the performance according to the objectives, procedures, and plans. It is time, uses, and also cost in safety matters. So basically it is talking about the controlling of the performance, how the performance is happening. So in the PDCA cycle, we can say check. It is a part of controlling, where we monitor the performance, or where we monitor the current status of the stated objectives. So whether we achieved it or not, or where we are now, what is the status on date. So then we can do certain actions where if you are lag in the achieving of the goals. Then coordinating, it includes interrelating and also synchronizing the different activities for achieving the safety goals. So again, it is a coordination is the overall function or role of the management to achieve the safety goals. When it's a coordination, so generally one of the department where safety and HR, I say, so HR is somehow they won't interact much like us, but a safety department where we used to coordinate with all the departments in a organization, and also all bringing all departments or people together to a common goal or objective to achieve the zero or whatever the percentage which we define to achieve. Okay. So next is a simple structure, a management structure, how it is happens. With a single line, generally you will have a company board, so where you have the managing directors, and then you have safety executives and department or manager or departmental heads. It is not that okay, after the managing directors you have safety department, but it is a different structure. So to give an example, so where you have a board, then following you have board of directors, then you will have all the functional heads or departmental heads. Following that, you will have supervisors and the workers and the safety representatives, and you will also have the few committees like safety committee. Okay, here you will see the where and all they positioned. So the board and managing directors are at the top management, and the safety department and other departmental heads are intermediate or middle management, where the supervisors, workers, and fall under supervisory management. Okay, this is how the management structure look like. Okay, fine. So anyone is having an idea what is meant by safety committee? Meanwhile, I'll jump into other presentation. Okay, we are done with this topic. Any questions as of now? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that. Any questions? Somebody, you. Himanshu, you are writing something, or you are just a second. I don't know how to stop this. It looks it is updated. Himanshu, what you are doing? So you'll see so many. You are making so many scratches. Okay, I had a question. So what is the difference between OCP and SOP? Both are same operational control procedure or standard operating procedures or operating procedures. So these are the different types of terminology where they used interchangeably in different organizations, but everything is same. OCP, SOP, or standard operating procedures. All are same. Any other questions? Anyone having idea what is mean by safety committee? No idea? Okay, fine. We can discuss in other topics. Let me go to the other topic. Then I'll share my screen again. So as we seen, the definition of management, it is basically a coordination by using the various functions called planning, organizing, directing, and controlling to achieve the stated objectives or goals. So planning is the utmost primary function of management. అంటే అదొక ఫస్ట్ డ్యూటీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ యొక్క ఫస్ట్ డ్యూటీ ప్లానింగ్ అనేది అంటే మేనేజ్మెంట్ యాక్టివిటీస్. ఓకే ఓకే లెట్ మీ jump to the PPT. So when you talk about planning for safety, it is basically it is the most fundamental and the first function or element of a management process. Other functions rest on it. The need for planning is increasing because of changes in technology, materials, methods, processes, demand, law, government policies, procedure, and compensation. So why the planning is required? In the case of any change, so I have set up a process. So where there is no technological changes, there is no change of raw materials, there is no need of changing of methods, or there is no additional demand from my customers, or with respect to my process, there is no new legal requirements or government policies are imposed, no change of procedures, or there is no competition at all against my product. So will you change your planning or you will follow the same activity? Venkat Gandhi. This is also HSC management system. So I didn't understand, Venkat. Can you unmute and ask your question, please, Venkat Gandhi?
ఎస్ సార్. ఇది మేనేజ్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్స్ లో ఎలిమెంట్స్ సార్ ఇప్పుడు చెప్పినవి,
అవునండి.
లేదంటే అవి వేరే ఇవి హెచ్ఎస్సి
లేదు లేదు
సేఫ్టీ
లేదు
ఎలిమెంట్స్ అంటారా?
అంతా
అలాగైతే
ఒకటే.
ఐఎస్ఓ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ బాగా చేంజెస్ ఉంటాయండి.
ISO is completely different. ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి
ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్టాండర్డ్.
ISO లో మనము ప్లానింగ్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతాము.
అవునండి.
ఓకే, డూలో మనం ఏంటి ఏమి చేయాలన్న దాని గురించి మాట్లాడుతాము. సిలో మనము మానిటరింగ్ గురించి మాట్లాడతాము. మనం ఏం చేసామో అది ఎంత అచీవ్ చేసామో ఎక్కడ అంటే స్టేటస్ ఏంటి అన్న దాని గురించి మాట్లాడతాము. యాక్షన్ లో మనం ఏంటంటే అచీవ్ అయితే ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ఫైన్ వి రైట్ న్యూ గోల్స్, అచీవ్ అవ్వకపోతే దెన్ వి గో ఫర్ ది కరెక్టివ్ యాక్షన్స్. సో ఇక్కడ ఇవి వచ్చేసి జనరల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఫంక్షన్స్. ఇది మనం దేనికైనా అప్లై చేయొచ్చు, ఈవెన్ మన పర్సనల్ లైఫ్ కూడా మనం అప్లై చేయొచ్చు.
ఇవి ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్ ప్రకారం ఎంఎస్ సార్, ఇది
మేనేజ్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్ స్పెసిఫిక్ గా ఎక్కడ స్టాండర్డ్స్ అయితే లేవు నాకు తెలిసి, విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ఇండియా ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ ఇస్. దీస్ ఆర్ ది కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఐ కెన్ సే, మేనేజ్మెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్.
ఓకే.
మీరు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఐఎస్ఓ ఏంటంటే 45,001 మేజర్ గా దేని గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంది అంటే,
అవును సార్,
ఆక్యుపేషనల్ హెల్త్ అండ్ సేఫ్టీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్. అంటే సేఫ్టీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అంటే సేఫ్టీ సిస్టమ్స్ ని ఎలా మేనేజ్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే హౌ యూ ఎఫెక్టివ్లీ మేనేజ్ సేఫ్టీ ఇన్ యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్. దాని గురించి ఒక సిస్టమ్ అనేది ఉంది. ఒక సిస్టమాటిక్ ఓకే మనము క్లాజ్ నెంబర్
సార్
4 నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతాము. తర్వాత 5 లో పాలసీస్,
అవును సార్
6 లో ప్లానింగ్, 7 లో తర్వాత 9 వచ్చేసరికి
అవును
9.2
సార్
మేనేజ్మెంట్ రివ్యూలు, ఇంటర్నల్ ఆడిట్లు ఇవన్నీ జరుగుతాయి. సో అదంతా అంటే ఒక ప్లాన్ ఆఫ్ సైకిల్ హౌ యూ కెన్ ఎఫెక్టివ్లీ మేనేజ్. సో ఇది వచ్చేసి
ఇందులో కూడా
ఓవరాల్.
పీడీసీఏ కూడా ఉంటుంది కదా సార్?
ఇందులో పీడీసీఏ ఉండదు, బట్ పీడీసీఏ అనేది వన్ ఆఫ్ ది యాక్టివిటీ వీ కెన్ లింక్ విత్ దిస్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్. ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా మనం పీడీసీఏ గురించి మాట్లాడడం, ఇందులో పీడీసీఏ ఉండదు.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే
ఉండదు ఉండదు. బట్
ఓకే
ఏంటంటే
సార్, థ్యాంక్
పీడీసీ
యూ.
అనేది మనం ఎలా ఇంటర్లేట్ చేస్తాము, పి అనేది ప్లానింగ్ లో చెప్తాము, డూ అనేది మనము డైరెక్షన్ లో చెప్తాము, లేదంటే కంట్రోలింగ్ లో చెప్తాము. కంట్రోలింగ్ సి వచ్చేసి కంట్రోలింగ్ లో చెప్తాము. అక్కడ అయితే మనకి పీడీసీఏలో సి ఉందో ఇక్కడ కంట్రోలింగ్ అంటాం. కంట్రోలింగ్ అక్కడ వచ్చేసి మనం పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ మానిటరింగ్ అంటాము. సేమ్ ఇక్కడ కూడా కంట్రోలింగ్ లో పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ మానిటరింగ్ అవుతుంది.
అవును
సో
సార్.
మనకి ఇక్కడ యాక్షన్స్ అనేవి అగైన్ మళ్ళీ డైరెక్షన్ లోనే మనం డిఫైన్ చేస్తాం. దీస్ ఆర్ ది బేసిక్ ఫంక్షన్స్.
ఎందుకంటే ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కూడా మీరు పీడీసీఏలతోనే కలిపారు కదా, దానివల్లనే అది చిన్న డౌట్
దానివల్ల
వచ్చింది.
కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయ్యారా? ఐమ్ వెరీ సారీ.
సార్ ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో జనరల్గా వీటి మీద మనకి క్వశ్చన్స్ ఎలా వస్తాయంటే, సో వాట్ ఆర్ ది మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఆర్ ది ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఇన్ ది మేనేజ్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్స్ అని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారు జనరల్గా. సో అప్పుడు మనము ఇవి రాస్తే సరిపోతుంది. ప్లానింగ్, డైరెక్టింగ్, కంట్రోలింగ్, ఆర్గనైజింగ్, స్టాఫింగ్ అని చెప్పేసి జనరల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఇస్తే సరిపోతుంది.
ఓకే సార్, నోటెడ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి ప్లానింగ్, యాజ్ ఐ మెన్షన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ ఫండమెంటల్, అంటే the primary function or element of any management. So whatever you do it, so this is the fundamental concept or the fundamental activity or the first activity where you start with. Next is when we talk about the purpose. So why we need planning, what is the purpose of it, and also we talk about the importance and also the significance of this. So when you talk about the purpose of the planning is majorly focus on objectives and results. So when you are talking about planning, definitely something is there in your mind to achieve. For example, I do plan for this class, so I should be ready by myself 7:30. So I should have to do something before 7:30. I have to keep all my presentations open. I have to get the class links and I have to just log into the class. So that is my planning. My objective is to complete the 2 sessions on time or as defined time. So I do a planning accordingly. I make sure that my laptop is having full charge. I make sure that my internet is properly working and my laptop battery is full. So these are the various activities or planning I do to achieve my objective. Here my objective is to successfully complete 2 training sessions on this Friday. So basically it focus on results and objectives. Then second purpose is activities become purposeful and orderly. So if you are not having any planning, so you do a random activities. When I say random activities, how it happens? For example, there is a sequence of activities. 10 activities are supposed to be executed or supposed to be carried. So when I say 10 activities, the sequence of activities are supposed to happen from 1 to 10. If you are not having a planning, it is simple to have clarity on of what need to be achieved. Yes, thanks, Chaitanya. That's what it is. So 10 sequence of activities. If you have a planning, the planning says that okay, first you have to do activity 1, then following 10. So if you're not having planning, so you may do initially 1. You may think that okay, activity 8 is easy, so first I do that, then you do 10, then you do 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. But you will not end up with achieving your objectives. So definitely you should have a planning where you will have a checkpoints, so that okay, first I have to do activity number 1.
స్లైడ్ షేర్ చేశారు సార్?
Yes, it is not sharing.
No sir, not visible.
What about others? It is in sharing only. I could see your screen is in sharing.
Visible sir, visible.
ఒకసారి వెంకట్ గారు మీరు మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవ్వరా? ఓకే, Then reduces uncertainty, risk, comma, wastage. So when you have a planning, uncertainty or unwanted things will not happen until unless you are not having an idea what you are going to do. So you'll have end up with a failure, end up with a more wastage. When talk about wastage, it talks about wastage of time, money, material, etc., etc. And also the risk of not achieving the goals also will be higher side. Then helps in controlling future events like loss. So when you have a planning, for example, I have to buy a car where I think of assessing the market. Okay, so I'll see the trend of the market in the before March or end of 31st March or after the 31st of March or year-end sales used to happen. So I'll assess the market, how or when I can get more discounts. So I'll get the festival discounts or Black Fridays, or I can plan in the year-end sale or financial year-ending sale or newer offers. So I do such a planning or have an idea in my mind. I'll assess the all the opportunities and advantages where I can avoid my future losses. Then helps in saving of the cost. So when you say helping in saving of the cost, we can, if I go with the same example, so if you're buying a car in the month of October, okay, or you're buying a car in the month of end of December in the same year, just 3 months, October, November, and December. So definitely you will have a saving in the year-end sale because the model changes. Definitely the showrooms or the manufacturers offers more discounts if they have a stock. If they have laid up with the stock, definitely they will offer more benefits or offers to the customers where you can save the your money or expenses. When talk about cost, when talk about production related, purchase guy who thinks or predicts the increasing of raw material price in the next 3 4 months, he will have a plan saying that okay, in the near future there is a chance of increasing of the price of the raw materials. So he will plan in such a way that he will buy a raw material for next 1 year. Then he will keep a stock so that we can avoid the cost. And impacts accuracy. So in the sense where you have a planning, so you will execute what you are expected to do or what you are trying to do. Then helps other functions of the management, that is organizing, staffing, budgeting, directing, and control. So when you have a planning, it automatically helps the other functions. Like if you have a planning, you will properly organize, you know how many people are required, then you will definitely allocate the budget based on your planning. Then you know where the checkpoints are required and you know what to measure in the controlling. So what is your objective? What are the measures or measurement you have to do or where you have to monitor? So without a planning, you can't do organize, you can't bring the people, you can't allocate a budget because you know what to do or you don't know what to do and where to do and how much is required, and you can't direct the people. You are not familiar to whom you have to suggest the ideas, to whom you have to consult, and you can't able to measure also. You don't know what to measure, what is your objective, right? So that is the a major purpose of planning. Okay, I'm stopping here. We have only 1 minute. If you have any questions, we can discuss or continue, or we can continue tomorrow evening, same time. So you can give your feedback if I'm going too fast. Chiranjeev sir, you didn't tell about safety committee. Yeah, I intentionally I didn't. I mean, pick the topic, Chiranjeevi. So in the coming sessions we have the topic. That is the one day session. We talk about that. Don't worry. We have time to discuss the topic. That's why I didn't put this. Mention here. Yeah, thank you. So you can give your feedback. So about my, delivery. So I'll try to tune myself to make these classes to your comfort. Okay.